Greetings, my friends, and welcome to the last quarter moon episode of Tarot for the Soul. My name is Carrie Konyha, and if you're new here, this is a weekly energy update and activation for the collective. Today, we're looking at the energies happening in the dates ranging from today, May 3rd, through May 9th, 2021. How's everyone doing out there? We are definitely in for a really dynamic month ahead. The first thing that I want to share is that this first few days of May that we're in right now, and this first week of May, marks the halfway point between spring and summer. So the energies are definitely shifting. You're probably feeling it on some level within yourselves. And I invite you all actually to tune in and notice how this energy does feel for you. Right now, with the energies that we're in, being in the halfway point between spring and summer, it brings a balance and a cohesion between the sacred masculine energies and the sacred feminine energies. Sacred masculine is all about decisiveness, alignment, making choices, moving forward, taking action, while the sacred feminine is about intuiting, dreaming, and holding space. So this energy that's unfolding cosmically this week is really also aligned with the cosmic weather that we've got going on astrologically. This first week of May, we are still being influenced by all of the planets that are happening in Taurus. However, some of them are shifting into Gemini as we're coming into later this week and then the week after that, which we'll talk more about in future episodes. But for now, I want to remind us all that the last quarter moon phase of each month brings in a time of reflection, consideration, introspection. It's a time where we can really just tune in and reflect upon those original intentions that we set for ourselves during the new moon and recognizing what came into fruition or what was discharged or expressed or released during the full moon. And then when we're in this waning moon cycle, this last week before we have a new moon next week, it's a really empowering time to just reflect on, okay, what worked, what manifest, what did I clear away, what did I heal, and where am I now on my journey, and how am I feeling guided and moving forward? This particular last quarter moon phase, the waning moon, is happening in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarian energy is leading edge, forward thinking, innovative, creative. It's community consciousness, it's collaboration type energy. And Saturn is all about structure, guidelines, times, rules, regulations. So if we combine these two energies that are happening in conjunction with each other, actually, Saturn is conjunct the last quarter moon happening in Aquarius, it blends the energies together in a way that can work for us positively. So for blending together the innovative, forward-thinking, imaginative energy of Aquarius with the structure-oriented energy of Saturn, and blending that with all of the Taurus energy that we're still being influenced by, and considering that Venus and Mercury are both moving into Gemini later on this week, we've got this great mixture of energy right now that supports us in really rooting into our expansion. It is a lot about implementing whatever our creative ideas are in ways ultimately that can help us to feel like we're establishing a little bit of a new foundation for ourselves. Now, overall, in 2021, the longer term astrological aspects that are happening are serving to sort of rock our foundations as far as like our known usual reality. But given the nature of everything that's been going on in the past year or so, that feels like a good thing. It feels like we're being shaken free from that which has caused stagnation, that which has caused limitation, that which has caused restriction. And we're being guided in the direction of establishing a new foundation that can support more exuberant, expansive energies in moving forward. So as we're looking into the cards today, we're going to take a look at the energies that we're expanding into. We're going to take a look at how we can best root in those energies. And then we're going to look at the overall energy that we all have the capacity to activate within our lives, within ourselves, individually and collectively. So today okay, so we'll put those aside and I'll look at those in a moment here. I had 2 cards that flipped out, so those are going to be some bonus cards in addition to the 3 I'm already planning on working with today, and super interesting. So let me just see what these last 3 cards want to be, and then we're going to get into things here. Okay, so here I am, just selecting 3 cards. Okay, so here's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go ahead and start with the 3 cards that I pulled, and then I'm going to share the flipper cards that flipped out as I was shuffling as some bonus messages later on in the spread here. So the super interesting thing that I'm going to share right away is that all of the cards that came out, the ones that I selected and the 2 that flipped out, are all major arcana cards, which hardly ever happens. So in the tarot is divided into a few different categories of cards. There's the major arcana and the minor arcana. The minor arcana deals with things having to do with our everyday practical reality, love, money, health, career, things like that. While the major arcana deals with archetypal energies and spiritual forces that are shining in, lending their energetic support, guiding us and informing us along the way in regard to the higher dimensions of spiritual reality. So the first card that came up, which I'm reading today as being connected to the energies that we're expanding into this week as a collective, and then again, we're all going to have our own individual aspect of this as well, is the Judgment card. I think this one came up a few weeks ago, maybe even last week. I'll have to look back and see, but the Judgment card is positive energy, good news arriving. The main emphasis of this card is it's like a calling for us to shift into our highest path, and it is a message about answered prayers. We're getting some type of confirmation this week through some form of communication that will give us the incentive, the information, the confirmation, and the confidence that we need to go ahead and make those shifts. We've all already been in a space of contemplating, reflecting, setting intentions. And as we're coming into the energies this month, we're preparing to shift into that expansion. And this Judgment card showing up is saying that our intentions have been heard, our prayers are being answered, but we still have to be the ones to show up for ourselves, right? And meet the universe halfway here. So this card is assigned to the number 20. So it has that 2 vibration, which does anchor in stability. It is connected to foundations. And so this is aligned with that message that I'm channeling through about this being a time where we're being compelled to root within our expansion, align within our expansion, establish new foundations that support that expansion. The next card I'm looking at is representing how. How can we best embrace this energy of expansion that's shining in? So again, the message about the expansion energy that's showing up in the Judgment card really is, I feel, a message from Spirit that's saying we can believe in the value of our dreams to the extent of trusting the universe, trusting ourselves to take action in alignment with them. Whatever your personal goals and dreams are that are especially connected to what feels like your highest ambitions, your highest path, these are the things that are being supported for all of us individually right now. And then the Hermit card is showing up reversed to say the way that we can access this energy of expansion and exuberance and stepping into our path of highest fulfillment comes with getting out of our funk, right? So when the Hermit card comes up reversed, it can really sort of represent too much of a grounding to the extent of possible brooding and depression. Some of us have been dealing with that energy as we've been moving through all of the experiences that we've been going through in the past year and a half now. And, I totally get it, but it's time to shift the energy. It's time to reconnect with your spiritual self. It's time to feed the spiritual dimensions of yourself, your life, reconnect with your heart, trust your inner guidance, get out of your funk, shift that depression, get some forward movement energy circulating in your life. Pull yourself out of stagnation. And then the High Priestess card, which is showing up as the main energy that is being actually activated this week collectively, which each of us here who are tuning into this video and participating in are a part of. So this last card, the energy that's being activated, empowerment with our intuition, empowerment with our psychic ability, empowerment with our imagination, which is showing up as the High Priestess card. Now, the High Priestess card is also assigned to the number 2. So we have the 20 that's connected with the Judgment card and the 2, which again brings in balance, stability, foundation, grounding, harmonious energies. It can also be seen as like yin yang, right? So again, there's this theme of balance between our own inner sacred masculine, our own inner sacred feminine. So the Judgment card is celebrational energy. This is like celebrating what you know is in the midst of manifesting for you, celebrating your dedication to your goals. And then the High Priestess card is saying that the energy that's being activated is a deeper sense of connection with our intuition, our psychic ability, our imagination. We need to implement innovative, imaginative creativity in order to really embody and start taking action in the direction of our highest timelines right now. So here's where I'm going to get into these 2 cards that flipped out. So interesting. Again, these are also major arcana cards. So we're going to consider this as like extra messages from Spirit. The Sun card. So the Sun card, let's see, that's a 19, which is a 10, which is a 1. So the Sun card is the energy of rebirth, renewal, expansion, forward movement. It can indicate literal travel. It can indicate symbolic, metaphoric travel in the way of like a positive shift of energy in your life, a positive shift in consciousness that enables new situations, opportunities to open up for you because you are shifted into an expanded awareness, which brings you into a higher vibrational space, time dimension where you can pop into that higher reality that we've been talking about. And then the World card, which is associated with the number 21, which is a 3. 3 represents the first signs of growth, fruition, abundance based on the intentions and the efforts that we've already set in motion. When the World card comes up, it is an indicator of cohesion, being in our flow state, being in a sense of unity, oneness, mind, body, spirit. And it speaks of the positive experiences that we have when we are in that flow state within ourselves. Now, this card did show up reversed as it flipped out. And so in the reversal position, it's asking us all to rise to the occasion. What are those things that you know that you need to step to the plate to in order to really fully activate these energies of rebirth, renewal, expansion, breakthrough, new vibrations, higher timeline? And are you feeling connected to your intuition? You know, with the Hermit reversed and the High Priestess, it's almost like the challenge and the solution all in one. The challenge is if we're in our depression, if we're being in more sluggish, stagnating energies, we're certainly not going to be feeling connected with our intuition when we're in that state of being. This is the shift that we have to make in order for our highest timeline to open up to us. And this week is the week to do that. As I said, later on this week, over the course of the next few days, we've got Mercury and Venus moving into Gemini, which does bring in more playful energy. It brings in a feeling of carefree energy, of an essence of freedom. So that's certainly going to help those of us who have been battling any type of depressive funk energy. It is going to help us to shift out of that. We need to stay in high vibration and not buy into this continual perpetuating of gloom and doom that's being propagated through the media. We have to realize that there's more than one perspective in the world. Even when there is crisis happening in the world globally or in our life around us, looking at and perpetuating the gloom and doom isn't going to bring us to the solution. So what's going to bring us to the solution is innovative thinking, leading edge awareness, tapping into really trusting how our intuition and our psychic ability is guiding us, using our imagination as a container for creating the energy matrix, so to speak, for the reality that we're creating. I haven't spoken about this too much, and I think I will make a video about this. Our imagination is considered to be one of the higher mental faculties for one, but it is a super powerful tool for manifestation. We've all heard of creative visualization, envisioning, and things like that. Those things require us to use our imagination. Ultimately, we can use our imagination as a tool to speak to the universe in ways that are connected to our clairvoyance. So if we're receiving clairvoyant visions, that means that we're receiving messages from the universe through visions, right? So we can use the power of our higher mental faculty of imagination to also communicate to the universe in return. So just consider that and what that might mean to you for now. Using the power of your imagination to envision that higher timeline reality that you're about to step into, but see it as in you're creating like the light matrix grid of that reality so that it's there for you to hold space for you as you're stepping into it. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there for today, but stay tuned. I will see you in the next video. I have an amazing new series coming up soon that is all about empowering empaths, so I know you want to stay tuned for that. If you haven't done so yet, take a moment to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on those videos and others. Much love, guys. Blessings. Namaste, and I'll see you in the next video.